Nearly half of all the COVID-19 deaths here in Colorado have been from senior care facilities and healthcare facilities. Our reporter, 9 News reporter Mark Salinger, takes a deeper look at some of that data.
The numbers tell a clear story of just how deadly COVID-19 is, especially behind these walls. 246 people living in nursing homes, assisted living, and long-term care facilities have died in Colorado. That's around 48% of all deaths in the state. 880 residents have a confirmed positive COVID-19 test, as do 599 staff members. Residents and staff inside senior care facilities and healthcare centers account for more than 14% of all positive cases in the state. 18 residents have died at the Cherry Creek Nursing Center in Aurora. 46 have tested positive. 17 have died at the Centennial Healthcare Center in Greeley, where 32 have tested positive. And at the Orchard Park Healthcare Center in Greenwood Village, 32 residents and 20 staff members have confirmed positive cases. 2 people have died.
It was definitely surprising.
The cases at Orchard Park were reported publicly by the state for the first time today, 8 days after the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment says they first learned about an outbreak at the facility.
We should have been told when she was in there. I think she should have been tested when she was in there.
Jim Wilson says his mother stayed at the Orchard Park facility for rehab until she was told she completed the treatment and could leave. That was on April 5th. A day later, he says she was admitted to the hospital and tested positive for COVID-19. She died a week later. While the facility says it is informing the families of all residents, Wilson says he was never told about the outbreak even after his mother died.
They should inform all future and past residents and current residents of what's going on.
As the state works to contain the spread amongst the vulnerable, loved ones are left watching from outside. In Denver, I'm Mark Salinger, 9 News.
Outbreaks in the state are not limited to senior health care facilities as well. There have been outbreaks in other places. The JBS plant, the meatpacking plant in Greeley, there have been at least 102 confirmed cases, and there have been several cases at jails around the state.